What is it? What song is that?
It's Leslie Roy. Here I go, I'm going. I love that song.
That's awesome.
Actually.
Yeah, that's great. Great. I haven't heard it in probably 10 years, but...
Leslie Roy? Leslie Wah, maybe?
No, Roy. I think Roy's right.
I mean, it's spelled Roy, but so was the goalie in hockey, and his was pronounced Wah because...
French stuff.
Yeah, probably. French stuff, probably, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, French
probably
stuff.
Not Russian.
Probably not. But
are there Wahs?
I'm Brad hanging out with Josh.
That's probably that's the call.
Is that? I don't know. Yeah. Welcome to the 2 Decades Too Late podcast, everyone. Josh and I are Flemmy from Floaterhead again.
Yeah.
So buckle up. In Ohio, it's gone from like 70 degrees 2 days ago to like 5 degrees. So
it's only slight exaggeration, too.
Yeah, nah, barely. Yeah. I mean, we felt like 60, and last night it was basically... Anyway, doesn't matter, because this is a podcast in which we rate and review an album that is turning 20 years old, mostly metal for whatever it's worth. Not today.
No.
Josh and I each give a rating of 1 to 5 to 4 different parameters for an individual maximum point total of 20 and a combined maximum point total of 40. I really wish 20 didn't come up so much in our spiel, because I do want to say 20 every time.
Yeah, and the fan is probably tired of hearing it.
Yeah. Sorry, guy. Person. Whatever.
It's Mick.
Yeah. But yeah, we got a interesting one, I feel.
Yeah, it is interesting.
Ish.
It comes from the land of, well, man, there's like 4 genres listed for this album, but they're all, you get the gist with any of them.
Yeah.
Indie rock, post-punk revival, dance punk, dance rock, a lot of dancing to be done on today's.
Is fair.
There is. Fair. Yeah. Today's band hails from New York, New York. They have been active for 2 years at this point. They formed in 2003. This is their first release, and it is The Bravery.
Yeah.
From The Bravery.
Eponymous.
Yeah.
Hip-hop. And I gotta tell you, one I didn't want to listen to really after I hated the Killers.
Oh yeah,
it must be said. But you know what? Not the same.
Not the same?
I expected it to be more the same, so I'm glad that it wasn't.
Yeah,
I was pleasantly surprised.
Let's find out if it comes to the same result.
Yeah, fair enough. Actually, it'll probably be pretty close. I always assume these bands are from Britain for some reason.
Again, this band, super huge in the UK. This album went gold in the UK.
It's wild. I just never expect them to be from... I mean, I guess New York seems a little more in line than Vegas did with the Killers. That was surprising.
Yeah. It's closer, I think, geographically to the UK.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Well, there you go.
Yep,
all right, thanks for listening to the podcast, everybody.
Yeah. We solved it.
Yeah. I'm really surprised they were only a band for 2 years. That's a hell of a... Where do these bands get off, like, being around for no time and then becoming massive?
Yeah.
Huge.
I don't know. It was definitely like a right place, right time situation. Because you could lump them in pretty easily with the Killers and Franz Ferdinand and anybody who was just like doing a talky thing over some synth and a pretty robust rhythm section, actually.
They all have a really good rhythm section, and I don't get it. Also, I'm going to try to say this in a way where I don't have to cut it later because I keep having to cut it. A lot of people don't realize that Oh, I never liked Pantera because I hated Pantera fans when I was young. And you maybe have legitimately never heard me actually say that, despite the fact that I say it on almost every single one of these, because I generally go way too hard and it gets out of control. I've gotten over that hatred. I don't think I've gotten over the hatred of this fan base from 2005. And I think that's why I keep going into these records thinking, like, I'm gonna hate this. And I clearly have not gotten past that for whatever reason. I just think of, I don't know. Yeah, just that whole group of people that was always around. Like, just so everything's so dull, and it's just so much. I'm so uninterested. Okay, fine.
Yeah, those people still exist.
I know. It sucks. Yeah.
I will say we were probably bigger fans of the Bravery at the time than of the Killers.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it didn't hurt that he had basically a devil lock in that video, so that's pretty cool.
That does help, actually.
At the time, it really helped a lot, which it shouldn't have, but it did. So it is what it is. Weird way that this band was assembled in a strange kind of way to me. Like, it seemed pretty piecemeal. In a strange kind of way.
So, two of the members, two of them, like from the beginning, kind of, and then just kind of pick and pluck different. But that lineup has been consistent throughout the band's history.
Yeah, for sure. And man, the drummer Anthony. Well, we'll get to the members obviously, but Anthony, how are you saying that? Burlchich. Anthony Burlchich. No shit, Berklee College of Music. That dude's a fucking animal. It's insane.
Yep.
He doesn't need to be that good for this at all.
He does not.
I mean, he could be 60% worse and it would have been fine. But man, he's just going to town on this thing.
You almost have to. Like, we feel like you don't have to, but you kind of do have to. Like, something has to be happening in the background because the vocals are kind of drony. The synth and the keys are kind of drony, which actually my favorite songs on this album are the more dronier, broodier ones than the actual, like, dancey poppy ones.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I will say that their vocalist, well, you know what? We'll go ahead and this is the lineup on the eponymous release.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got Sam Endicott on vocals and rhythm guitar. Michael Zakarian, which is very close to Zakarian.
Yes. Jeffrey Zakarian?
Jeffrey Zakarian.
Who is that? Why do I know that name?
He's a chef. He's an Iron Chef.
Oh, yeah,
he's like the silver fox looking guy that always dressed to the nines. He's mostly a douche. He's a great chef, though. He's a great chef. He's not a douche. He was kind of a douche when he was a judge on Chopped. He was always the guy that's like, Phoenicians are,
Yeah.
Yeah. You get it. Anyway, so John Conway on keyboards and backing vocals. Also, everyone is on backing vocals. It's It's a post-punk indie band, so... Mike Hindert on bass, and as previously mentioned, Anthony Burlsich on drums. Hell of a drummer. Hell of a rhythm section. Kind of already said that, but man, it's insane. That bass player is outrageous too.
Yeah. Of note, weirdly, there's a second drummer credited on tracks 1 through 4 and 6 through 8 for some reason. Stephen Laurie. And Joshua Kessler is credited on track 10 for playing the tambourine, which I love.
That's great. I am curious about what they mean by the drums. Like, did he just add additional percussion? Like, because
I don't
realistically,
know. It did not come up.
No, it doesn't. I can't find anything about it either. And like, if Stephen Laurie actually just straight up played drums on the tracks listed, then he should be listed as the drummer.
Yeah.
Not the other guy,
But
because that's
not.
most of the tracks.
Yeah, and it's not like a situation where it's like, oh, this guy was like leaving the band and this guy came in, but one guy got credited. No, not that situation at
There's
all.
just a second guy, Stephen Laurie, listed his drums on tracks 1 through 4 and 6 through 8.
Yep.
That's most of it. That doesn't leave a lot left. What is there, 11 tracks
5,
on this?
9, 10, and 11. Yep.
Yeah, so it's like, I don't understand. If anyone knows, we are on Instagram at TDTL_podcast. So I would love to know, because
Steven,
I got
what's up?
It's wild. I don't know what to do with that. I do love, by the way, I just briefly saw that someone said, despite his vocals being mediocre at best. And I was like, which I actually don't think is fair. I think compared to the Killers guy, this dude was at least singing at times. I mean, the Killers guy legitimately spoke more than anything.
Yeah.
And this guy actually, I don't know, he adds a lot of flavor throughout. Like, I remember there was one track on the Killers album that I liked more than the rest just because he actually did weird shit with his vocals.
Yep.
And I was like, thanks for giving me something. Well, this guy does that all the time. So it's great. It's so much better. I don't like the Killers is really what this is. I thought I didn't like the genre of music. I think what it might be more so is that I just really don't like the Killers. Also, we really had to do the vocal filter again, huh?
Yeah.
We really, like, this is what these motherfuckers do on these albums. Like,
I mean, it is. The Strokes. I mean,
do you remember
genre.
Do you remember how mad, how upset some people got, and I'm not exaggerating, when there was the slightest bit of distortion put on Corey Taylor's vocals on Iowa? And I'm talking like 2% of vocal distortion added to his voice just to smooth it out. And people are like, oh, he's not even really screaming. Like, yes, he is. Like, you don't know how this works. And everyone's with this genre is just like, yeah, I mean, yeah, anybody could have been the vocalist in that band on that album, but we love it.
Yeah.
Because, they just didn't sing and put that one filter on their voice the whole time.
Man.
It pisses me off. I'm not going to lie. I was like, please don't do it the whole time again.
Oh, they do it the whole time.
Whole time.
The whole sandwich.
Yep. And it,
I'm going to try and make
impacts
a thing now.
Oh, the whole sandwich?
The whole sandwich, yep.
Man, they just had the whole sandwich on that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's not bad, actually. I don't hate that.
With it,
Yeah. Anyway, you've probably heard this, man. This is one of those albums out there, gang, that, we're probably not dropping a bunch of weird... I don't know. We're not going to probably blow your mind.
Man.
I don't know.
Maybe. So they did hit, they peaked at number 18 on the Billboard 200. So, like, they did get some
pretty good
attention, but, like, the album itself got, like, mild to moderate reviews. So all music gave it a 3.5 out of 5. The user rating was a 4 out of 5. And then the same with Rolling Stone, gave it a 3 out of 5. User was a 4 out of 5. So, and they didn't stick around for long, so it's not like you could easily forget about the Bravery.
I guess. I do know that there are 2 songs on this thing that if you heard them, odds are good you'd remember them. But
Swollen Summer is definitely one of those. Because it played, like, if you went to Kings Island in 2005, 2006, it played constantly on their little...
the whole time.
CCTV circuit. It was also featured on Gran Turismo 4.
Oh.
Yep. An Honest Mistake was in 3 different video games.
That's not weird. What video games does it say?
Yeah. One of them was like MLB MVP 2005.
I could see that.
Yeah, there's a remix version on a different game. And then Unconditional was on Tony Hawk's American Wasteland.
That's what it was. Because Unconditional's... that's a good... That song I knew easily as well as An Honest Mistake, and that makes sense as to why. Yep. Boy, we played some Tony Hawk games.
We did.
Yeah, if your song was in a Tony Hawk game, odds are good I know your song. Whether I like it or not, I have no idea, but I probably know it.
So was American Wasteland the one that like came with a skateboard though? Because I definitely did not play that one.
Oh, I didn't think that was American Waste. I thought American Wasteland was like the first one. No, I'm thinking of
That was
Tony Hawk
Thug.
Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if I did play Wasteland. Tony Hawk Waste. I'm not. We had to have played Wasteland. It came out in 2005. No, I guess I don't know if I would have been playing a whole lot of.
Which Tony Hawk game?
This did not have
a skateboard.
I don't think American Wasteland came with the skateboard.
Nope, Tony Hawk Ride did. That makes a lot of sense.
And I'm looking at this soundtrack. We definitely played this. It had Institutionalized by Suicidal Tendencies, which is something I remember. Astro Zombies by Misfits. Search and Destroy, The Stooges. I definitely remember this.
Yep.
Interesting. Well, there we go. We went on a little side quest with Tony Hawk, which, let me tell you, that's a side quest I'm always going to take. Yeah. The Bravery stuff.
Things.
Yeah, I mean, like we kind of touched on, track one, An Honest Mistake. If you've heard a Bravery song, that's probably the Bravery song you've heard, I would assume.
Most likely.
If you have, then you've kind of heard the whole album. More or less.
Maybe?
Ish.
I mean,
ish.
there's some variety here.
There is. Way more than the Killers. Just saying. Yeah. Just throwing it out there.
And also, like, I didn't like as much of the album as I thought I remembered liking. Because I listened to the shit out of this album.
You did? Okay, I did not. This one missed me completely.
Nope, I was on it. Like a lot. And then a lot more of the next two albums, definitely.
Really?
Yeah, for sure. There's a song on, which album is it? So the second one was probably not as great, maybe. Stir the Blood, the third one. Did it? Yep. Stir the Blood has Hate Fuck on it. Super good song.
Hate Fuck, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yep, they went a different direction there.
Uh-huh. They sure did. Wow. I would not have called that based on the listening experience I had with this particular album.
That's weird.
Not a single thing. Though there is a bit of a 2000. I won't harp on it too much. I think it's public service announcement at track 7. Yeah. There's a bit of a 2005-ism there.
Yeah.
I do. The way he delivers it, dare I say, is hilarious.
It is,
even though I shouldn't think that it is. I
mean,
I wasn't ready for it because, again, I never listened to this. This didn't sneak in like the Killers did back in the day.
All right.
But I mean, a couple of the songs, but just because they were in my field of vision.
Yeah.
And by that I mean track 1 and track 9 on Unconditional. Those are the two I remember.
Yep.
Well, and what is it, Swollen Summer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I listened to this a lot, and I liked it a lot in 2005. Relatively short album, 37 minutes, 51 seconds, so 38 minutes. So you can get through it a lot.
Yeah, which helps. It helped me. Honestly, just seeing track 4, Tyrant, be almost 5 minutes long had me kind of concerned because,
right.
Part of what I thought was working here was the fact that they were kind of getting in and out of songs, which helps me kind of digest something that's out of my normal, listening habit.
Right.
Which I'm realizing I'm just getting worse and worse apparently as I get older because I'm like, this is just music.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this is great. You get through it. It never kind of overstayed its welcome. The songs are different enough. And again, I just appreciate the fact that the vocalist doesn't just do the drony thing. I mean, he does mostly that, but he tries. He gets a little punk rock with it.
Highs and lows. There's some punk rock. There's some croony. Yeah, between this and the Killers, I would, put the genres a little like more accurately on this album than on the Killers. So like that kind of, I would still, when I saw dance punk, I was like, okay,
that's
or
100%
like a
what this
post-punk
is,
revival. Yeah, like this is definitely still got the punk elements to it in a way like the Killers didn't.
Yeah, this was a little less of a just straight up kind of indie pop record, which is more what I would call the Killers. So it scratched a little bit of an itch for me. I'm not huge into punk rock anymore, but having some things have a little bit of that vibe going, I'm pretty into it. And this definitely has that.
It does.
Lyrics are pretty good though. I mean, I don't know. It's fine. It's a solid album.
Yeah, did you look at any of the lyrics? Are they remarkable in any way?
No, they're solid. They aren't like really pretentious. He honestly just, out of most of the stuff we listened to, wrote pretty just decently normal lyrics.
Which is cool. And no misogyny, which is great.
No, it's just kind of well done. It's fine. Like, it's just, there's a lot of fine on this album.
Whole lot of fun. Like, I couldn't even pull a thing from the AllMusic review to like sum it up. Like,
it's tough. It's tough. But yeah, I don't know what you want to touch on specifically, and I don't want to, I don't want this to be like a 10-minute long thing, but I am super into the review because I just don't have a lot to say. It's
I don't either.
It's good.
Although, like, if you want to have a little bit of fun, read their wiki page about like what they were doing in 2005 when this album came out, especially in the UK, because like I said, they got huge and they lived that rock and roll punk style.
Hell yeah.
They played 3 shows in one day.
That's awesome.
Let's see, maybe not even one of the same ones, but like one of their shows that they played was supposed to be aired live on BBC 3 in the daytime, but they couldn't air it. They had to delay the airing because the bassist just got naked on stage in front of 40,000 people.
That's fucking rad. I mean, it isn't, but it is.
Right.
Wow. Way to do that.
They played South by Southwest. They played Coachella, Lollapalooza. They supported Depeche Mode. They supported U2. Like they were living that life in 2005.
Man, U2 in 2005. That's when they like had their blow up with that whole song with the plane and all that stuff.
Yeah. Wow. So apparently during their set, the power cut off twice. But Bono wrote them a note thanking them and said, like, P.S. if you ever need anything, call Edge, Adam, or Larry.
Cool.
Which is the best way to say, like, fuck you, don't call me.
Don't call me.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. You want to get to a review, by the way?
We should.
Let's do it. Review. Fucking gross. All right, man. We are reviewing the eponymous release by the Bravery.
I always feel so smart knowing eponymous.
I know. And it's hard not to think of a hippopotamus, you know?
Oh, yeah.
And I like thinking of a hippopotamus because, hippos are adorable.
Have you ever seen savage.
A pig? Oh, man, they'll kill everybody. Have you seen a pygmy one of those?
No.
That's just cute.
Pygmy hippo.
Pygmy hippo. It's a thing.
Yeah.
But speaking of hippos, Josh, what did you think of the artwork? On this?
I definitely did not get hippo from the graphic.
No.
What is the graphic? I've never known.
It looks like a phoenix to me. It looks like it's some sort of a bird.
It does kind of look like a phoenix, and also it's got the leg up like a flamingo, which is why they win everything they do.
Wait, what? Because they have a leg up?
Yep. Nailed it. Uh,
Well,
I'm gonna give it a 3.
man.
I like
All
the
right.
color palette. I like the text. Like it's a kind of a cool graph, but I don't get it. Um,
Didn't they talk about it in their wiki somewhere where that's where they got the famous whatchamacallit?
I didn't see that at all because I looked, but the art direction slash artwork was done by Luis Marino. Luis Marino? Lou Marino?
Man. I mean,
But yeah, I could not find anything about it. So if you did,
did you see that they're considered one of the first bands to ever have a MySpace page?
no,
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
that is kind of cool.
Oh,
Does
man.
that influence what you thought of the album artwork?
No, I just think it's kind of it really puts it into perspective for me, like very concretely with that fact for some reason. I love the album art. I gave it a 5 without hesitation.
All right.
Yeah, I love it. I don't really know what it is. I'm sure it's somewhere it says, and I could have probably done more research on that, but I love it. You're right. It looks like a mixture of a phoenix and a flamingo, which is a really cool idea. I love orange kind of
It's
in
a
general.
flaminix.
Flamingo?
A flamingo, yeah. People from Phoenix are flamingos now.
You fucking flamingo.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So
sounds bad.
it doesn't sound good. Yeah, I kind of we don't know what it means if it means something. So sorry-ish. Yeah, I liked it. I don't know. Yeah, it's great. And I'm starting to just like it when someone doesn't have a logo and just makes a really easy to read thing.
Yeah,
It's like, thanks
I do
for
enjoy
just
that.
thanks August Burns Red Thrill Seeker and thanks the Bravery. So yeah, 5 for me for sure.
Yeah. What about the production then versus?
You know, I think I've actually talked myself down from my original score. So I landed on a 4. I don't think this is as good as some of the other bands. You know, we have that kind of, this is one of those bands I expect to just get a 5 because they have, this music lends itself to, production tricks and making things cool. And it's nothing against this kind of music. We've brought it up a lot, but I brought it to a 4 because it is thin at times and it doesn't seem like they had maybe some, like, whatever some of the other bands like the Killers maybe had access to. This doesn't seem like it's at that level.
Right.
And then the vocal thing, I fucking hate it. So 3. I mean,
3.
it's a 4, but because of my own bias, I'm going to take it down to a 3.
All right. That's totally fair.
Yeah, what about you?
I am going to give it a 4. You're right. It is thin at times. And like comparing this to the Killers, which you can actually make that absolute comparison.
100%. They are contemporaries.
No, but like comparing it to the Killers, like the rhythm section, although the bass is featured, like you can clearly hear it, it doesn't have the punch the way that the Killers did. Like, so the drums, they're back there, even though the guy's doing a bunch of shit.
They're pretty drowned out, though.
The bass is back there, even though he's doing some stuff.
Yeah, he stands out more than the drums. Like, I think the bass stands out more than the drums do. The drums are very sadly, like, they're raw. They're raw to a point where, like, listen, I get it. I'm not here to shit on the whole raw energy thing, but like, man, maybe pump up that kick a little. Like, give me something, because
especially
it's just
on a
drowned out
dance punk album, you need that kick, man.
The kick is just not loud enough, and the dude is just criminally undersold on it because he's the most talented person in the band as far as I can tell.
One or both of the dudes.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, whoever. Yeah, man, it's so stupid.
Interestingly enough, though, like this came out on Island Records, which is a mega huge label. Like Fall Out Boy, Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, mega huge label.
Yeah, Island's no joke.
So for that being the case, like Man, did I just talk myself into a 3? No, it's a 4.
Okay. I was gonna say I'm slowly talking myself into a 2 at this point.
Right, yeah.
But no, I mean
all the tools available.
Yeah, I mean, unless they were just like, no, we don't want. I guess I don't know. Oh, what can we do? What about impact at the time? Which, from the sounds of things, is gonna differ a lot between you and I.
Yeah, mine was probably a 4.
Wow.
Like that music video, you showed me that music video at your mom's house in South Vienna, and I was just like bought in. I was like, yep, I'm doing some more of this.
Sick. Oh man, wow, that's weird to think about. I gave it a 1.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't. I mean, I liked that song, but I forgot about them entirely. Like, until you were like, do you want to do the Bravery? I'm like, oh, yeah, all right, yeah. All right, yeah. That's right. The Bravery was a band. All right.
They were. Still are, I guess.
I guess they got back together, like, recently. They broke up in, like, what, 2010?
Yeah.
Man, they were really just a cup of coffee in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah, they played a show in 2023. So, like, I don't know, new music or what, but...
Huh. Interesting. Well, that's a big difference. All right, sick. What about enjoyed listening to today?
I'm gonna go with a 3. Because I did like the songs that I remembered used to liking, but there was more on this album that was just not filler necessarily, but that took a different direction from the stuff that I really remember liking.
Oh, I almost think I land on a 4. I don't know if it was just because I was absolutely expecting to hate it, and then being like, you know what I mean? I just was like, oh, this is. And then I was like, oh no, I don't hate this at all. This is fine.
What a pleasant surprise.
Yeah. So I had a good time listening to it. So based on that, I'll give it a 4. Honestly, a 3 probably makes more sense, but I'm feeling good about it. So
feeling dancy.
Sometimes, like, I understand we're adding very simple numbers together, but I'm still sometimes so surprised by how the result comes out.
Yeah.
Like, it's so wild. And to that end, Josh, you have landed on a 14
all right.
for the eponymous release by the Bravery, and I landed on a 13
all right.
for a 27. That's not bad for...
It's not great. Bad. That is exactly where this album should land, according to Metacritic, whose overall rating is a 66 out of 100.
You know what? There you go. That's about right. It's fine. It is fine, and...
So we landed on a 67.5 out of 100 if you do the math.
Yeah. So
if I did the math correctly.
Yeah, well, that sounds right.
There's a good chance.
Oh yeah, 27 for the Bravery.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about what's your favorite song on this Bravery album?
You go first, and then I'll decide.
Yeah, I was trying to get out of it again. I'm gonna go with Unconditional.
Okay.
Like, it's a little lame, but
that's why I wanted you to go first.
Yeah, fair enough. I just, that whole like break with the snare driving the fucking, that's so good. Look, that's a fucking part. You can just picture. Like, we've all been in that... If you've been in a band, you've been in that, like, situation where everyone in the room goes, holy shit.
Yeah.
There's no way that wasn't one of those moments. I mean, even listening to it, it's like, hell yeah, guys. Well done. All right. Good. I'm glad you let me go first, then. What about you?
I'm going to go with Give In. It's got, like, a nice night drive feel to it. It's one of the broodier songs, but it's got some pace to it.
Yeah. And it's like, it's pretty short. I actually really liked it. That was probably my 3rd pick.
All right.
Yeah, so all right, sick. All right, we'll add...
An Honest Mistake is still fantastic, but I don't think it needs to be on the playlist.
Nah. I mean, It's not that. I don't think anyway. By the way, we do have 2 playlists now. TDTL favorite songs 04 and TDTL favorite songs 05. So,
oh baby,
we separated the chocolate and the peanut butter. So if you want to listen to the songs for this season or this year, they'll be there for you, and we will add these 2 songs to it.
Hell yeah!
Which so far we've got August Burns Red, Gojira in the Bravery. That's something.
This should be fun.
Yeah.
ColecoVision. Yep. Sweet.
Oh, man. Well, I don't have a whole lot to add. You've heard this genre of music, and it's fine.
It is super fine. And
we learned...
We already told you what our Instagram was, and we told you about the playlist, so I guess.
Yeah, thanks for listening for however long this lasts to end up hearing basically no opinion.
Yeah, and we will fill in the
Thanks,
gaps
gang.
with me just being phlegmy at the end. So, yeah, he's been Brad,
Sick.
I've been Josh, and we've been 2 decades too late.